Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, yesterday morning we were talking about this potential bull flag, but we were also entertaining the fact that we've had quite a big move here, and maybe we weren't just going to catapult our way straight up to straight up to around the 50Ks. So yeah, it did basically, say break to the downside. It's not obviously moved down very far, but as you can see, the flag clearly has broken to the downside. We had this downside level that obviously we hadn't drawn on perfectly straight, to take out this level, to then potentially get more downside. And what we did do, we took out that level. We've sort of been back testing it now, as you can see. So we are obviously back testing this level here, and not really sustained above it yet. So I mean, have we got a sorts of bear flag in the very short term before we potentially come down to this level down here? What I am going to draw, you can see where this level comes from this high here, and from from basically relatively these highs here. So what I am going to do, because I think this is going to be an important zone for BTC to hold. I'm not necessarily saying it's even going to come down and test this in the immediate term. But this would be a level that I think would be important. This zone, say level, this zone. So if I can, let's see if I can do my drawing real quick whilst we're on here. So we'll just draw a box in here. Let's get it bang on, so I don't have to mess about with it. There we go. And down to here as well. So this is what we are looking at, to basically hold if we do get a move further down from where we are. It's not quite bang on there at the top, but in fact we'll sort it whilst we're here. We'll sort it. There we go. Right, now it's moved now. Oh, it's because this line's not straight. That's why, because this line's not straight. So we'll just move that a little bit, and that's fine for now. We'll lock that. So yeah, as you can see, we have this box below. So basically, the way I see it now is that we can get more downside. That is fine, but we have got to be looking at holding this area here. So basically this zone, so between obviously this high and this high, and then we'll still be looking good. If we take out this level, I mean, this is obviously the line in the sand, for this medium-term bull run. Obviously, I don't think the bull run as a whole won't be over. But we could then be looking at like a larger consolidation in this zone, maybe even back between the 30 and 40k level. So for the immediate bullishness, in the medium term, to get us up to around these 50ks. We do need to realistically be coming no lower than this zone here. So that gives us room to run. And like I said, I'm not saying we're even going to come and test down below here. We can get back above this horizontal, then back above this more important horizontal, and then back above this previous high, which I'll just extend along. And then we'll be on our merry way. But as it stands, we've got to kind of see what this market wants to do. What we do want to do, basically. So yeah, that is kind of what I'm looking at. As you can see, we've got this is obviously this level here. The top of this zone obviously coincides with this high, which we didn't really back test on this move up. Pretty much catapulted our way up. So could we get a back test off this high, the forward check, the back check, and then a big paycheck trade into the 50ks? Yeah, that could be very likely what happens. That it would be very typical of price action. So yeah, that is what we just got to watch out for. So realistically, right where we are now, not really. Not that I necessarily talk about actual actionable trades in the actual immediate term very often, but in the moment we're not really in an actionable trade area. We're waiting for, realistically, to get back above this level to then obviously potentially catapult our way upwards, or actually you could probably say a break below this level, but realistically a potential buy trade at this level, to target 50k and obviously stops below, and then if we break below here, and then yeah, we'll be targeting 38k and then see how we interact with that level. So realistically, we're in a bit of a no trade zone at the moment, waiting for waiting for basically a move either to above here or basically below here to potentially down here for an actionable area. So so yeah, that is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin. My old my old friend Ethereum, Bitcoin. So currently, as we speak, we have got this aggressive downward sloping trend line, which would be nice if we broke and then catapulted to the upside, and that is a potential scenario. You can see we're at it now, and it also coincides with this horizontal. So yeah, getting back above here. Obviously, when you're at the top of range, at the low end of a range, obviously people, it gets a bit dicey whether we are going to basically break that range or whether we are going to break above. But obviously, as we start to move away from the lower or the higher end of the range, that's when you sort of like, you get the acceleration. You get like the more people comfortable with targeting either the top of the range if we're moving from the bottom, or the bottom of the range if we're moving from the top. And when I range, I mean these horizontal ranges. So yeah, I mean, if we break above here, that's above this important horizontal, above this downward sloping trend line. I think that would basically trigger a move to at least the top side of the range, which would be back up here. So that could obviously signal a pretty significant move in Ethereum. And then as we get to the top of the range, that's when you have to entertain and price in the probabilities and the potential of breaking above that range and then going onwards and upwards to to a new level or to form a new range. So things potentially looking good. We are basically at that inflection point in Ethereum. We've hit this trend line, downward sloping. We're at this horizontal still. So if we get rejected here and come down, it will look pretty bearish. It will look like we're going to take out this level. And then, I mean, realistically, we're looking at the bottom of the channel again, in what would potentially be, if we were to draw like a midsection of this channel, just flirting with the basically the midsection, with some wicks above, but then coming back down to the bottom of basically the bottom of the channel. So that would be a target if we get rejected here and come down. But obviously, ever the Ethereum Satoshi pairing bull that I am positioned for, because that is basically what I expect to happen. Then yeah, I think this will break to the upside, but we shall see. Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, almost fully retraced its move as well. So obviously that's just Ethereum, but obviously other altcoins getting a nice move. Most notably those Polkadot ecosystem coins, which, as you guys know, I was harping on about when Polkadot was literally when Polkadot was like $2, when KSM was maybe $5 or $6. When XOR was the same, basically $5, $6, $7, $8, and all those coins have gone like spectacular gains from here. But anyway, so all I'm saying is that there are obviously altcoins other than Ethereum that are driving this down as well. So obviously, as you guys know, that's stating the obvious a bit there. Ethereum USD again. This is consolidating at these highs, looking good, holding up there. We have got this horizontal again in the dollar pairing. Taking this out, and then obviously we've got this horizontal up here, and then we have got this price target which we can tap around the 2k level. 2k will be a nice number. I expect there will be not a lot of selling. I expect some selling will come in at 2k, some taking profits, some selling, just because it is a very round number. So yeah, call them the double O's, but obviously it will be a triple O. But yeah, DXY, that dollar, as we know, is bearish AF. Yeah, Jerome Powell literally is just lying through his teeth. Basically, if you listen to his speeches, he's just lying through his teeth, and they are gonna keep expanding that balance sheet. They are going to not care about inflation, and not pretend inflation doesn't exist or happen. And yeah, so there we go. And yeah, this is obviously looking like a bear flag in the context of this move. So shall we speculate here? Here's the flagpole, and oh look, wow, look at that, almost to the dot. Where does it bring us down to? Back down to this low, and then, which, to be honest, on the basis of this formation, this rising wedge, if we break below to the low side of the rising wedge, this would be our target anyway. So yeah, so like I've been saying, stroke expecting, stroke prophesizing, that we are basically coming back down to these 89 handles for the DXY, which is clearly going to be more upward impetus on Bitcoin. But to be honest, Bitcoin's got a life of its own, hasn't it? Crypto's got a life of its own. I mean, to be honest, we've had this big move up in Bitcoin, whilst the dollar has been trending upwards since the 6th of January, so basically all year. So I mean, so far as actually Bitcoin's concerned, unless, like I said, like I've been saying, unless we get into the 92s and start making progress upwards, and then start to look macro, potentially bullish for the dollar, then I don't think we're going to get any pressure from the dollar onto Bitcoin. And then, so obviously the flip side is that when the dollar comes down, it's not necessarily going to be too much extra impetus onto the price of Bitcoin, because clearly Elon has a lot more of an impact on it at the moment than the dollar trading in the sideways range. So yeah, 10-year as well, holding up there. Squint and you might see a head and shoulders there, so maybe we're going to get a pullback down to this level. We're not going to start technically analysing this. But yeah, this looks like it's coming down to here. Stocks, yeah, they're just looking good. Obviously had a big pullback yesterday, and no doubt, obviously, that is basically buying opportunity. We got back to the midpoint, which obviously you know is important, midpoint of the range. And then we took it out, so now we're looking at basically a move to the top and beyond. So that is stocks. GME, there you go. Obviously, what's going to happen? I told you that I was talking to someone actually at the car garage, my car garage. The guy that works there that I've been going to like with all my cars for like the past 10 years plus. He was chatting to me about his mate that was in trading, buying GameStop, and saying it was gonna, he was losing money, but it was gonna go back up. And I was like, there was no, and this was probably around here. And I was like, there is no way at all this is going back up. So there you go. You didn't need to be a genius to know that. Not that I'm saying I'm a genius. You just didn't need to be a genius to know that. Tesla obviously struggling since its Bitcoin purchase. So yeah, interesting dynamics there. Once you start to basically try and transform yourself into a pseudo Bitcoin ETF, then you're going to have investors in this stock that aren't necessarily going to want to be exposed to Bitcoin in such a fashion. So yeah, and don't forget, Tesla is a very big large cap stock that is owned by lots of people, institutions, and whatever. And they may not sit well with them, basically owning a lot of Bitcoin. So there is obviously you're going to get people coming in that obviously love Bitcoin anyway. But don't forget, most people that love Bitcoin pretty much love Tesla as well, don't they? Those same people, that same FOMO money, will be buying Tesla and buying Bitcoin. So they're already in. So it seems to me that there's more of a risk of downside for potential current investors in Tesla, especially some of the larger ones, to maybe not want that exposure to Bitcoin. So could Tesla have literally popped its own bubble here? I mean, I would say for certain yes, if it wasn't for the fact that obviously with a crazy Democrat, not that I want to talk politics, but a crazy Democrat basically control of the US means they could potentially go in some crazy green strategies, which should then just play into obviously an electric car company. Not that it's an electric car company. Is it a software company? Is it a Bitcoin ETF? Is it an energy company? Whatever it is, it's just going to encourage capital flows into it. So yeah, oil, here we go. Oil, obviously, look, as we look at this, this is inflation for you right here. Oil goes into everything. Oil goes into everything. It goes into at least the manufacturing process or the transporting of everything. Oil basically has a pressure on everything. And look at this. This is just pure, unadulterated inflation for you guys. So read it and weep, you deflationistas. You guys that think deflation is coming. Yes, deflation is coming in certain asset prices. Maybe bond prices, real estate prices, stock prices maybe, but deflation isn't coming in basically actual real things. So then we have what is called stagflation, which is literally the boogeyman of central banks and basically economies and everything basically that in this current Ponzi financial scheme. So yeah, stagflation is going to basically just work its magic and just ruin everything for a lot of people. So yes, hopefully crypto's fine though, because yeah, let's just hope crypto's fine. It should be. Not, no, I can't say it should be. It may be. There's a good chance it would be. So yes, that is enough speculation on all these things. We'll just have a quick look at silver. This eventually is going to rocket, guys. This eventually is just going to go up. I mean, if we just look at a weekly. Oh, here we go. If we look at a weekly, as you can see, this is not a bearish formation. This is not a bearish formation at all in any way, shape or form. And let's get, I don't know if I've done this. Let's give ourselves a projected target. Yeah, $50, which would basically be the all-time high up here, basically roughly all-time high. And then once we take that out, blue skies breakout, we'll delete that though. Blue sky breakout, $100, $150, $200 an ounce silver. Yeah, incoming. So there you go. Gold silver ratio obviously tanking like we know it would. As soon as Tony Vase said it was a buy up here, it was clearly a sell. Gold is severely lagging here, you would say. And I mean, there is arguments obviously that gold is struggling because of the people that are then becoming more interested in Bitcoin, but gold will have its day. Bitcoin will have its down. When I say day, I mean like period in time, but gold will have its day and Bitcoin will have its down day, its down moves, its medium term down moves, even if it's a large term up move, and then gold may be a massive beneficiary of that. So yeah, something to keep an eye on there. Yeah, stochastics. I know I did cut the video short yesterday morning. It's quite a short video. Basically, yeah, one of my, you might have seen me with my arm out like that. One of my daughters was literally, had just woken up and she'd come in, so I had to kind of, stop the video a bit short. So we will look at the stochastics today. Yeah, for our diving coming on this trend line, is it going to turn up around here and drag us back up? Could do. 10 hours turn back down. It's also got a trend line to potentially come down to pick up, but at the moment it is turning down. 12 hour is it's looking to turn down, but it's up there. Daily is looking to turn down, and then obviously everything else is looking great. So 2-day up, 3-day up and moving up, 5-day turning up, weekly looking to turn back up, although actually this is having second thoughts. And then bi-weekly sort of got a kink in it, and then monthly still pointing up. So I mean, longer term, so this is a pretty this for me is one of the more clearer mixed message reads, where the longer term is like clear we are on a bull and we're going up, but these medium and short terms indicate that we are going to come back down. So this is it. This for me, this is it basically. This is an important level. I know on the daily here, go to the 4 hour. This is an important level, basically for a lot of people to keep an eye on. This level here. This level could very much be a forward check, a back check, and then a paycheck trade. This is it's just an important level. If we lose this, then we start to lose basically just the medium term trend to potentially. So yeah, obviously we have got this final level to hold, and then hold. I mean, if it was like on a weekly candle or wick basis down to here, so we were down here for like a few days and then back up, that could obviously be fine. But yeah, this for me is actually a very important area. It's a very important area for potentially basically people to buy. I mean, there will be a lot of interest from buyers and sellers. Like I said, basically there'll be people wanting to buy for the big move up once we come back and test here, and then there'll be people, if we break below here or come below here, that'll be looking to sell to basically just get out of the market and see what happens when there'll be a lot more of indecision in the market as we start to come down towards this level, if that's to happen. So we are at a critical point. Obviously all of this goes out the window if we get back above here and start to move onwards and upwards. We'll get to about 50k, and then yeah, just out the window, 50k, mid 50k. So yeah, an important, interesting time in this trend. For me, aesthetically speaking, trade wise, what I want to see is just that textbook maneuver, break above, come back and back test this, and then everyone can literally fill their boots, and then buy, and get us up to like 60k. That's what I want to see, because that's just the easiest thing to trade for. But yeah, it's not necessarily going to happen. Obviously Tesla came in. Tesla's obviously responsible for a lot of this. Elon's responsible for a lot of this, saying they bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. But just remember, they bought it. They have it already. They potentially been responsible for this move up here. Maybe they were buying down. Well, I don't know when exactly they were buying. Maybe they were holding this level up, buying. They bought it now. So are they buying more? Who knows? But either way, that buying pressure has been, the buying pressure that they've stated that they've done has been done. So now it's a case of, is there going to be more buying pressure? Or is there going to be more buying, basically? So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, really. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys later on today.